Hey everyone, and welcome back. So have a lot to cover today, but I definitely want to cover the first thing, this first thing first, because in my opinion, it is massive news. So I kind of want to cover it and then get it out of the way, and then get to a lot of the other stuff. There's a lot here, so I'm probably going to skip over like minor details on a lot of this, and because I want to cover everything, or cover as much as I can anyway, without this video being too long. I know some of you don't mind if videos run a little bit long, which I appreciate, but at the same time, I don't want them running like, massively long. Before I get to anything else, we have this huge news that dropped this morning. So Scream Factory posted this. It has been found. 4K restoration coming soon, and as you can see here from the pictures, it is indeed George Romero's Day of the Dead, which is unbelievable. So we're finally going to get Day of the Dead in 4K, well, restored, archived and in 4K. And obviously with Scream Factory making the announcement, they're going to be the ones putting it out. So there's a couple of things to talk about this release. As of this recording, and most likely, unless anything changes, I'll put some text up. If not, even by the time I post this, I don't know whether or not this actually is the original negative or maybe an inner positive. The pictures they posted almost look like they put a filter on it, but even then, you're trying to be cute, orange because, day. But I honestly, even through that, what it looks like a filter, this looks much more like an inner positive, not a negative. Now, if they only found the inner positive, is that a bad thing? No, because you can still get an absolutely amazing picture from the inner positive. So either way, it's fantastic news. So thank God something has been found for Day of the Dead, and obviously we'll be getting a 4K release of it down the line. It'd be great if it was out by the end of the year, because it is obviously the 40th anniversary of Day of the Dead. But if I had to guess, I would probably say most likely next year, and honestly, that's fine. I'd rather they take their time, do it all right before they put it out there. I don't care if it's the anniversary or not, just do it right. Because even when I watched Day of the Dead the other night, the old Blu-ray, it was just like, there were definitely a lot of moments where I'm like, oh, this could use a new transfer. So yeah, great news, and yeah, obviously I had to talk about it. Now let's get to all the other stuff, but I do want to mention two things real quick because they're very important, and one of which I missed actually from a couple weeks ago, which I do apologize. On my video that I put out actually on the 4th of July, Alfonso Agren 414, I hope I'm pronouncing your name all right, I'm really sorry if it's not, who tipped me 65 Swedish krona currency, is that what it's called? And he commented with tack, which is thank you in Swedish, which I thought was fantastic. And I'm probably gonna butcher this, but I want to try Det betyder mycket. I'm probably getting that wrong, aren't I? Anyway, I apologize. It's supposed to say it means a lot. So anyway, thank you so much for that tip. It really, really means a lot. It's, again, these tips are just, they blow me away every time I get them. And on the last video, I also have to say, also a big thank you to Don Alkerny 81, again, I hope I'm pronouncing that okay, I apologize if I'm not, who tipped me $2 on the last video, well, not the last news video, and he said, your videos always put a smile on my face and look forward to your content. Thanks, and thank you for the tip as well. And again, that means a lot, not just the tip, but even what you said. I really, really appreciate it. So thank both of you so much, and I apologize if I butchered your names. I apologize. But again, thank you so much. And now we get to all the announcements. Now, I originally thought this was going to be a much shorter video, but oh my god, there's a lot to talk about, even before the Day of the Dead thing. So we're going to, let's see, let's start with Kino. So Kino is a couple of announcements and a couple of detailed releases. So first up, let's do two announcements. Don't have details right now. So first up, both of these coming in 4K at some point later this year, and both of them have new transfers from their original camera negative. First one is Remo Williams' The Adventure Begins, and the other one is Runaway Train. So again, those will be new 4K releases with new transfers. No further details at the moment, but they are coming later this year. And next up, we have more details on their upcoming 4K release of Ilsa, the She-Wolf of the SS, which will be a 4K and Blu-ray release together. As of this, I might be wrong, I think it's only, I don't think there's a separate Blu-ray release. Now, I could be wrong about that because it does include a Blu-ray, but because I can't confirm that as of this recording, I'm just going to assume for the moment it's only a 4K with an included Blu-ray. Set for September 30th, retailing for $44.95. We'll have 2 commentary tracks, an interview, a theatrical trailer, and a stills gallery. And again, that is set for September 30th. And then the other one, which we finally have details for, boy, it got announced a long time. I can't even remember. I want to say, oh man, could it have been 2023 maybe, the initial announcement? But we finally have details on their upcoming 4K releases of the Airport films, and all 4 are getting released, so they're going to be in 4K with a separate Blu-ray release. And there's 2 different releases here. Well, technically more than that, but what I mean is there's 2 box sets where you can get all 4 in one set, one 4K, one Blu-ray, and the 4K will not have the Blu-ray, only 4K only, and then a separate Blu-ray release of a set that has all 4, and then you can get each film separately. Set for September 30th. Now, I believe the each set is limited, but I don't think they're website exclusive. I think you can kind of get them anywhere, Amazon or whatever, as well as the Kino website, but they're not limited, they're not exclusives, I mean. So the 4K limited set retails for $119.95. Now, it is currently up for pre-order for $79.77 on the Kino site. So obviously, as we get closer to release it, no matter where you order it from, it should come down in price. And then the Blu-ray set with all 4 films retails for $79.95, currently up for pre-order for $53.17 on the Kino site. And then will be single releases of each film with 4K with included Blu-ray, and then a Blu-ray only release of each one. Now, there will be a slipcover, but only on the first pressing. So each 4K single release with included Blu-ray is $44.99 retail, and then the Blu-ray only versions are $24.95. I'm really excited for this because when these first got announced, it was just like, oh, cool. I really like these films, especially the Airport 77 where the plane sinks underwater, because that was actually the first one I saw when I was a kid. I saw it on TV, and I don't know, for some reason, seeing the plane underwater was just like, it freaked me out, but it also fascinated me at the same time. I know personally I'm leaning towards the limited edition, but at the same time, I gotta admit, it's using the sleeves for the discs, which, as some of you know, I'm not a fan of at all. So I don't know. As we get closer, I'll make a final decision. I may still lean towards the sleeves, but I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, either way, I'm so happy they're finally coming. Lionsgate has announced 2 more titles coming out. Now, like they're starting to do a lot more often now, these are going to be exclusive to the Lionsgate website. What's the website again? LionsGateLimited.com. Anyway, the 2 films. High Tension, unrated in 4K and Blu-ray, with an included Blu-ray, Steelbook. Both of these are Steelbooks. And It Follows 4K in a Steelbook. Now, I think, I could be wrong about this, I think It Follows might only be 4K. I don't think it has a Blu-ray included. Set for August 12th, so right around the corner. Talk about, announcing these pretty close to release. Each one retails for, it was up for pre-order at the Lionsgate website, for $34.99. Now, just as a heads up, both of these releases are almost identical to the second sight releases that came out like a year or so ago. The same transfers, and as far as I could tell, also the same extras, except the Lionsgate versions do come with older extras that are not on the second sight release. So, for example, High Tension, my voice is going hoarse, so I apologize about that, has an extra commentary track and 2 featurettes, and then It Follows also has an older commentary track, a composer interview, a trailer, and a poster art gallery. So so actually the Lionsgate does have a couple extra things that the second side did not. But again, the main part of these releases are identical. So so it's up to you whether or not, if you already have the second sight ones, whether or not you want to get the Lionsgate one. I have the It Follows, so I think I'm pretty happy with that one. I never picked up High Tension, so I'm actually I think I'm going to get the Lionsgate one. And once again, those are Lionsgate limited.com website exclusives, at least for now. Wow, my throat is really dry right now. I don't know why, so I apologize if my voice sounds a bit off. Definitely want to get some water, but I also don't want to stop recording, so I'm just going to keep going. Next up from Eureka, UK company, is one that I think a lot of us have been hoping we'd get for a very long time, and it is indeed a 4K release of Martyrs, the original one from 2008. Long overdue, set for October 27th. It's going to be a 2-disc set, a 4K disc, and included Blu-ray. Now, the included Blu-ray, because this is a UK release, will be Region B locked. So just a heads up on that for those of you outside of Region B. Has a new 4K restoration from the original camera negative. It does have a couple of new extras as well as porting over older extras. So it does have a new commentary track, a couple interviews, a video essay, and then it ports over like an archival feature-length documentary in the making of the film, as well as a couple other interviews, including one with the director, stills gallery, and trailers. And this does come in sort of a deluxe packaging. Now, since it is a deluxe packaging, I assume like a standard release will come out down the line. And yeah, this is exciting news because, again, another one that's sort of been dormant for like a really, really long time. And a pretty intense film. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it, but at the same time, if you don't like films that are too intense, go in cautiously. That's all I'll say. But very, very exciting news. One more thing to get to, and we have a couple more of these Severin titles that have been announced. We already talked about the first 5 that have been announced, but now we are up to, actually, believe it or not, we're up to 10. Literally, I just checked like about 30 seconds ago, and they just announced number 10. So thank goodness I can include it in this video. I think I'm going to cover more details once we get to the pre-order, which will be part of their sale that's coming up on July 25th on the Severin website. So the next 5 are Fearless Dragons, Ferrat Vampire. Hope I'm pronouncing that okay. It's a Czech film. The Sisters remake of the Brian De Palma film, as well as The Shark Hunter, and then The Kill List, which was just announced before I started talking, even though I'm losing my voice, but I'm going to try as best I can. Now, I know a couple in the previous were the Blu-rays that were included, and some of those were Region A locked. These all are region free. So obviously the 4K ones would be, but even the Blu-rays, all region free, which is great news. So for Fearless Dragons, region free Blu-ray, Ferrat Vampire, region free Blu-ray, The Sisters remake will be 4K and a region free Blu-ray, as well as a CD soundtrack. And The Shark Hunter will be region free Blu-ray, also with a CD soundtrack. And then The Kill List will be 4K with a region free Blu-ray as well, which is great news. And The Kill List especially has a lot of extras, but I'm going to go over details for a lot of these more so when we get close to the sale, which we're almost there, again, July 25th. And I do want to make a mention about The Shark Hunter. So they posted about the fact that they tried to locate the negative or even an inner positive for it, and they couldn't find anything. They looked and looked and looked, and were only able to find 2 35mm prints, because sadly the original elements might have actually been destroyed a long time ago, which is very sad to hear. So they're using a print, as I've mentioned so many times before. If all someone can find is a print of a film, if the the negative and inner positive or whatever is just missing, or even sadly gone for good, please save these films. Take that print, I don't care how rough it is, get it scanned, get it archived, and release it, especially archived, so going forward, we can always go back to that raw scan. So they used these 2 prints. One of them was in lesser quality than the other one, but they needed it to fill in a couple scenes that apparently were missing from the better quality print. And as you can see from these pictures, that it says that they spent over 3 months trying to clean them up and do as much as they could, and I'm so happy that they did, and I can't wait to see this. I'm almost positive I haven't seen this, which is kind of surprising because it is an Enzo Castellari film, who I'm absolutely a big fan of, starring the great Franco Nero. So Yeah, that's definitely one I'm gonna pick. Actually, there's several here I want to get. So that's where we are for the Severin titles. I don't know if there's gonna be any more. I mean, that's 10 titles. That's a lot. So I assume maybe that's probably it, but who knows? You know, we're still a week out from the sale, so hey, you never know. And of course, we also are 1 week away from the very last Friday of July, which means we will get the new Arrow announcements, and we are now up to October. Looking forward to what they have for October. I am hoping for something pretty amazing, or at least one title that'll blow my socks off, but we will find out next week. And even though I wanted this to be a separate video, unfortunately, in order to get it out on time, I wasn't able to do that. So I'm just gonna do it real quick. Today, which is July 18th, marks the anniversary of the original release of Lucio Fulci's Zombie, which was released on July 18th, 1980, here in the States. The film was made in 1979, but it got released here in the States in 1980, and I love that film so much. It means a lot to me because it was one of the films I saw as a kid that really got me into Italian horror films. There were a couple, but Zombie was definitely one of the main ones. Because I remember as a young kid being at the video store and seeing like the front of that box, you know, with the zombie head on it. And I was just like, whoa, what is that film? You know, I was a little too young to rent it. I think it kept bugging my parents, and then eventually they let me rent it. And so, and yeah, I've just loved it like my entire life. So yeah, as far as the US release goes, this marks the 40th anniversary. I'm sorry, 45th anniversary. I don't know geez, if only I could do math. 45th anniversary. So I had to say something at least. So yes, happy anniversary, Lucio Fulci's Zombie, which has probably one of the most iconic scenes in horror films. You know, yeah, up there anyway with, you know, zombie versus shark. I mean, even just to say that exists is incredible on its own. So yeah, happy anniversary, Zombie. So that's definitely it for this video. Boy, do I need some water. My God, my throat is so dry. So let me know your thoughts on all of these announcements. And thank you again, you guys, for the tips. Like I said, like it means so much to me. So again, thank you. A lot of good stuff coming up. So as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.